For most business owners, insurance is just a chore, right? It's that necessary evil, another bill you just have to pay. But what if we flip that script entirely? What if we started thinking about it as a shield, a strategic shield for this amazing business you've poured your heart and soul into? That's what we're going to dig into.
Okay, I want to start with a number that should make you sit up and pay attention. $400,000. Yeah, according to a big study by Chubb, that's the average loss for a single claim against the directors and officers of a private company. And look, this isn't some problem for giant faceless corporations. This is happening to private businesses just like yours. The financial stakes are absolutely incredibly high.
And that huge number? It's really just the tip of the iceberg. We're all operating in a kind of business battleground today, and the biggest risks, well, they're usually the ones you just don't see coming. They can pop up from almost anywhere, from any interaction.
So where are these threats actually coming from? Well, the list is probably a lot longer than you'd guess. It could be shareholders, even in a small family business. It could be creditors if things get tough. Upset customers, of course, vendors, competitors, even the government. The point is, the risk is coming from all sides.
And that right there, that is exactly why we need to think about this differently. Insurance isn't just some reactive expense you pay after something bad already happened. No way. It's your financial shield. It's a proactive, strategic tool that lets you go out there and run your business with confidence, knowing you're protected.
All right, so the absolute foundation of this shield, the first piece you put in place is something called commercial general liability, or CGL for short. Think of this as the bedrock of your defense. It's the one that covers the risks you can actually see and touch, like someone getting physically hurt or their property getting damaged.
Okay, to make all this super easy to understand, we're going to break this whole armor concept down into 4 core pieces, 4 core coverages. If you can get your head around these 4, you'll have a fantastic framework for protecting your company. So, piece number 1, like we just said, is general liability. This is your shield against physical stuff, bodily injury, property damage. If your business operations are accused of causing that kind of tangible harm, this is the policy that kicks in. But what does that actually look like in the real world? Let's get into some examples.
Okay, here's what we're talking about. The classic slip and fall, right? A client comes into your office and gets hurt. Or maybe you're out on a job site and you accidentally break something that belongs to your client, something expensive. It can even cover you if a product you manufactured or sold ends up injuring someone. These are the fundamental, physical risks of just doing business.
All right, armor piece number 2, professional liability. You'll also hear it called E&O, which stands for errors and omissions. Now, this is a big shift in thinking. We're moving away from physical harm, and we're talking about financial harm. This is the insurance that protects you if a client claims your advice or a mistake you made cost them a bunch of money.
And this is where a lot of people get confused. So let's make it super clear. General liability is for the body and for property. Think, ouch. Professional liability is for the wallet. Think, oops. A client slipping in your office is one thing. Your advice costing a client thousands of dollars, that's a completely different risk, and you need a different shield for it.
Okay, our third piece of armor is a big one. Directors and Officers Insurance, or D&O. And this one's really different, because it's not just about protecting the company's bank account. It's about protecting your bank account, your personal assets. See, as a leader in your company, you can be sued personally for the decisions you make. D&O insurance is what stands between a lawsuit and your own house or savings.
And please don't think this is only for huge public companies. Some of the nastiest, most bitter lawsuits happen inside small private businesses. Just imagine, a cousin who's a minority shareholder in your family business decides to sue the entire board because they didn't like a big financial decision. This is the policy that protects the personal assets of you, your siblings, your parents, everyone on that board.
And that brings us to the 4th and final piece of armor, one that's pretty much non-negotiable in this day and age. And that's cyber insurance. I mean, think about it. This is your shield against the absolute nightmare scenario of a data breach, a hacker, or a ransomware attack that could literally shut your whole business down.
Because the costs of a cyber attack are just mind-blowing. We're talking about paying to recover all your data, massive legal fees, fines from regulators, not to mention having to notify all your customers and pay for their credit monitoring. Heck, some policies even help with the ransom payment itself. I am not kidding when I say that without this, one single attack could be the end of your business. Full stop.
Okay, so we've got our 4 core shields, right? General liability, professional, D&O, and cyber. But just knowing what they are isn't enough.
how do you make sure you're actually using them the right way? It's surprisingly easy to mess this up, so let's talk about how you can be a smart, strategic buyer and not fall into the common traps.
So here it is, 4 critical steps to get this right. First, you've got to do a risk assessment. Really think about your specific business. What are your unique vulnerabilities? Don't just grab a generic policy off the shelf. Second, look at your policies every single year. Your business changes, right? You grow, you add new services, so your coverage needs to change with it. Third, and this is a big one, you have to understand what's not covered. The exclusions section is just as important as the coverage section. And finally, please, don't just shop for the lowest price. A cheap shield that shatters on the first hit is worse than no shield at all. It's all about finding that sweet spot between cost and real protection.
And this really brings us all the way back to where we started this whole conversation. It's about a mindset shift. We have to stop seeing insurance as just another line item on the expense report. It's not a cost, it's an investment. An investment in the future of everything you're building.
Because here's the bottom line. The right insurance isn't just about dodging a financial bullet. It's about building a business that's resilient, a business that can take a massive hit and not just survive, but keep on going. It's about longevity. And honestly, it's about being able to sleep at night. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. You handle the day-to-day challenges of your business like a pro. I know you do. But are you truly prepared for that one big thing, that unseen threat that could take it all away in an instant? It's a question we all need to ask ourselves. Thanks for watching.